Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. This is a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet.
Paramashivoham.
And while we are waiting eagerly for the satsang by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, let us look at what the whole crux of education in the Hindu system of education, what is the core, what it comprises of. Education is known to be the key factor to enabling upwards socio-economic mobility and the strongest means of removing poverty. The right education is crucial to the well-being, stability, and growth of not only every child, but to humanity as a whole. The Gurukul system is known to be the knowledge transmission system of Hinduism, one of the pillars which kept Sanatana Hindu Dharma alive and standing as the world's most ancient living civilization. Through Kailasa's Department of Education, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Gurukul system is being revived in its entirety. Gurukul literally means living in the Guru's home. The Gurukul system is rooted in the Guru-Shishya Sampradaya, or the living lineage of the Guru-disciple relationship. And this whole system is actually corroborated by the latest, most state-of-the-art scientific research. After decades of study on the physical, mental, chemical, and biological uniqueness of meditative states and enlightened beings, it has been found that in the normal waking state alone, their brain waves show that they are in a complete meditative state, despite being fully active and engaged. In the world of athletics, this state is known as the being in the zone. a glimpse into the peak of focus, cognitive function, attention, and coordination, to name a few. Rather than a glimpse, enlightened beings casually walk, talk, and engage with life settled in this peak. Recent studies have also found that we imbibe the body language, behaviors, and patterns of those in our environment, not just on the behavioral level, but to the depths of the neurological layer. This is also known as the mirror neuron effect. In this way, there is no better teacher than the enlightened guru, who, as per modern science, exists as the superconscious, biological, reproducible anomaly. However, through centuries of Mughal invasions, colonialism, and continued persecution against Hinduism and the Hindu tradition, this science of knowledge transmission has been diminishing at an unprecedented rate. After careful study in the colonialism era, it was found that the Gurukul system was standing as the backbone and stability of the Hindu civilization. The Macaulay education system was imposed on India after this revelation. "13,000 universities across Bharat, 2 lakh Gurukuls were destroyed in Bengal and Bihar alone. With the systematic destruction of Hindu universities and Gurukuls, goes also more than 80% of Hinduism's indigenous knowledge." One can see what Thomas Macaulay in 1836, after his very deeply sinister study of the Hindu education system and what his diabolical plans were to destroy the system so that the colonial rule could continue for practically an eternity, which it still is, because even though physically the colonial rule is apparently had to have disappeared, to have been replaced by so-called freedom and independence, yet the minds of the people, of the Hindus, has been influenced by this poison, probably once and for all, had it not been for the advent of the Nijavatara, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism. Macaulay says, "Our English schools are flourishing wonderfully. The effect of this education on the Hindus is prodigious. No Hindu who has received an English education ever continues to be sincerely attached to his religion. The Hindu religion is so extravagantly absurd that it is impossible to teach a boy astronomy, geography, natural history without completely destroying the hold which that religion has on his mind. It is my firm belief that if our plans of education are followed up, there will not be a single idolater among the respectable classes in Bengal 30 years hence. And this will be effected without any efforts to proselytize, without the smallest interference with religious liberty, merely by the natural operation of knowledge and reflection. I heartily rejoice in this prospect." One can see here the diabolical plans of Thomas Macaulay, and as the colonial rule has been replaced by the largest democracy, what really is going on? Is Hinduism really in a state of revival? What is the Nijavatara, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, doing for the same? We all have seen over the last 2 decades what he has done to humanity, and in return, what humanity has done back to him. The persecution in return for magnanimous, huge contributions to Kailasa is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has showered on the planet. And what further revelations the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to be giving us tonight let us wait and watch as we await the divine presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam. The much awaited live Nithyananda Satsang after a very long time we are having. So today we are going to be having the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, followed by a live Nithyananda Satsang. For all our viewers who are joining us for the live satsang today after a long time we are having. So if you're watching us on YouTube Live or Facebook Live, this is the time to go ahead and share. The live satsang will be at 8:30. The updated timing for the live satsang is 8:30 p.m. So we're just about 30 minutes away from the live satsang. So please do share with all your friends, family, Sangha members, near and dear ones, the live feed, and share this exciting news so they can all come and join. And this is actually the first live Nithyananda Satsang we are having after the breaking news and positive news. And that news, I'm sure all of us are aware by now, is that the UN, the United Nations, has recognized the persecution of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. And we have shared this breaking news on all the official social media platforms of Kailasa. And in the next few minutes that we have leading up to the live satsang, I request every one of you to join hands in sharing this news virally with one and all. So I'm now going to go ahead and share the Facebook, the live SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page, where we have shared this breaking news, and also on Twitter. And as we are watching this live feed, and I request all the viewers to kindly please come along with me as we take a few moments to share this news with the world. And I will tell you why it is important to share it with the world. Recently, I was talking to one of the youth devotees from the US, and this person was saying that in their high school, for about 2 years, they are taught in the US schools, everyone is taught the Jewish Holocaust. And I have joining me on this show is Ma Nitya Sadashiva Priyananda is also joining us, and she studied in the US. So maybe she can give a little bit more insights into what really they study in the US. As children grow up, every child is taught in the school about the Jewish Holocaust. So Ma Sadashiva Priya, I know you studied in the US. Did you learn about the Jewish Holocaust?
Yes. So yes, thank you so much. And I'd like to share with all of the viewers exactly how in the United States, in Western culture, how from a very young age, even from even the age of 13, 14 years old, we start reading about the Jewish culture, even in school, even if we're not practicing that religion.
Sadashiva Priyama, so sorry to interrupt you. Your voice is very low. It's kind of hard to hear you. Is there any way you can fix your microphone and be right back with us?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Yes. So while Sadashiva Priya is joining, and those of you who are watching this, and how many of you, as compared to one is the Jewish Holocaust of what happened to 6 million Jews, just around the time of the Second World War, and on the same way, what is happened to Hindus, where 500 million Hindus. 500 million Hindus were, killed and murdered and persecuted over the last 5,000 plus years of Hindu Holocaust. And I was a born Hindu. I never knew about the Hindu Holocaust until, I came in direct face-to-face experience of what the anti-Hindu elements are doing to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And that was my first direct experience of the anti-Hindu elements and their criminal conspiracies, and the neo-Hindutva elements and their conspiracies to eliminate the spiritual component of Hinduism. The anti-Hindu elements want to eliminate Hinduism itself, while the neo-Hindutva gang wants to eliminate the spiritual component of Hinduism and politicize religion. So, yes. We have Ma Sadashiva Priya joining us. Yes, Ma Nithyananda, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. I hope my audio is okay.
Yes, it's much better, Ma. Yes, okay. Please go ahead. So you studied in the America, and did you learn about the Jewish Holocaust in your school as a part of the syllabus?
Yes, Ma. So exactly as we are growing up, we learned in detail about how the Jewish people, how 6 million people had underwent systematic persecution in extreme and in excruciating detail. We learned about the gas chambers, how they were literally taken in trains to the concentration camps for the each and every Jew from all over Europe, how they were how the war had been strategically planned, and this entire Holocaust happened where so many Jews were entirely eliminated, and what was happening was a genocide against a religion. And from a young age, and I would say from school, what was happening, and even at that time, I was wondering in myself, how come I didn't learn about Hindu Holocaust, what happened to Hindus, in the same way that today I'm learning from a textbook, from official textbook, from so many different novels of victims of the the Jewish Holocaust, and so many different.
Actually, study in school. How many years?
I would say the curriculum for 1 year entirely, at least half of that year, 6 months, we were studying the Jewish Holocaust in depth. And not only that, I can say that much of the novel, the culture of reading the books, how the Jewish Holocaust has been written by the survivors of the Jewish Holocaust. It's a very powerful way of speaking their story to the world, telling the heartfelt trauma and suffering that they've been through, and for good cause, to prevent more and more suffering from happening further, and ultimately to solidify the Jewish identity that they have as a whole culture. and as a part of their healing as a whole culture, how the victims are coming out right now is
You're a born Hindu, born and brought up in the US. When was the first time you came to know about Hindu Holocaust?
Actually, I can say, honest to goodness, the first time that we understood about the Hindu Holocaust was after after Swamiji himself had started speaking about it, how in satsangs he would talk about the sannyasis who were abused and killed. And only after this, I even realized, oh, there was something that happened that sparked me to go and read about it and see in more sources. But if you
what age would that be? If you have to tell what age of yours?
I think that was around 16 or 17 years old.
16 or 17 years when you first came to know about Swamiji. And what age were you introduced to Jewish Holocaust in school?
At least around 11 or 12 years old.
11 or 12 years of old. So every child who's growing up in the US, I don't know about other countries, every child growing up in the US is brought up giving the knowledge of the Jewish Holocaust. And I grew up in India from a traditional Hindu family, and I had absolutely no clue about the Hindu Holocaust. Jewish Holocaust, 6 million Jews were killed. Hindu Holocaust, 500 million Hindus were killed. It's not that we are doing a comparison of lives here, but we need to understand that the Hindu Holocaust is at least 9 times of what happened to the Jews. And even Hindus are made completely unaware. And I'm sure none of my pre-monastic family members even knew about the Hindu Holocaust, even though they were, staunch Hindus for generations. We are criminally and strategically made to forget about the Hindu Holocaust. And for the very first time in the 5,000 plus years history of the Hindu Holocaust, somebody has taken an effort to bring out the Hindu Holocaust out to the international community. And that thanks to, and our deepest gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, his tireless efforts, being a victim of the persecution himself, going through, more than 70 assassination attempts and torture in the prison and character assassination and hate speech and lawfare, and you speak about any facet of persecution the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through. And today, after literally 20 plus years of relentless persecution on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, today we have had a breakthrough. This is a breakthrough not just for Kailasa. This is a breakthrough for every Hindu out there, and this is a breakthrough for every human being out there, because what Kailasa is doing the revival of the true authentic knowledge of enlightenment, the science of enlightenment being revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So it is the responsibility of each and every one of us watching this, hearing this, living Hinduism and being benefited by Hinduism. It is our responsibility to share this with the world. So all we can do is just take few minutes of our time. I'm sure we are all eagerly waiting for the Nithyananda Satsang to start. And as we are waiting, let us do our responsibility. And that responsibility is to share this news virally with the world. And eventually, we should be having, every Hindu child should be taught what has happened to us. So we take responsibility to protect this knowledge tradition, to protect this tradition which is almost becoming extinct. And so now I'm going to go ahead and... Yes, Ma, please go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to add that across the world, in so many different time frames, from different cultures, apart from Hindus, have undergone either slavery, genocide, examples of how their cultures have stood up and made something happen for themselves to recover from that culture. For example, even after the Jewish Holocaust, how the Jewish culture, that Jewish people as a whole are able to tell their story to the world and powerfully voice out the stories of victims and survivors of the Jewish Holocaust, to the point where even they're able to establish their own sovereignty and able to protect their culture and heritage as a nation, whereas there was no nation for Jewish culture and for Jewish people. That after that they were able to establish that and protect themselves in some way or form. In that same way, if we come together now and just share and start to voice our stories, voice the stories of victims and survivors of the Hindu Holocaust. And first of all, ourselves understanding how the Hindu Holocaust is still going on, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is under the most brutal attack, has been a survivor of the most brutal attack and ongoing persecution against him. And even after the UN has recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, it's our responsibility as Hindus to ensure that the whole world knows that this persecution has been recognized, it is legitimate, and that it's our responsibility that each and every person, everyone who dares to troll against Hindus, against disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, that the persecution is a legitimate thing, and they're only fueling the persecution that is happening. It is our responsibility to share and ensure that the one chance, the one time we had our voices heard is being known to the world, that it is a legitimate persecution ongoing right now.
Absolutely, ma'am. And as you were sharing, I wanted to also take our attention to the official Facebook page of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And all of us who are watching us on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and all the different social media platforms, I request everyone, if we can take a moment and just go to Facebook, the official handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is facebook.com/Paramahamsa Nithyananda. And you can search for SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam on Facebook, and you will come up with this page.
Yes, and I'd like to add that, first of all, to all of the viewers who are joining in right now, if you have not already, make sure that once you have found our page, found the official page of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on Facebook, that you are
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Welcome back. So here you are seeing the official Facebook handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. I request everyone to please, I'm going to do a walkthrough and each of us can please come along and share this news. Okay, so as we are coming, we see the first pinned post with the breaking news. The UN has published the report on the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So what we are going to do is go under this post, like the post, comment under this post, and share the post. Okay, like, comment, share. Now, the sharing of this post, you can do it, share it to your news feed and add what you feel about this. So share one or two lines saying, finally, the Hindus, the Holocaust is being brought out, or you can say very happy that the United Nations has recognized it. Whatever you feel about this, you can add one or two lines and share it to your newsfeed and send it to at least 11 of your friends on Messenger, let everybody know. And all the groups and the pages that you're a part of, at least 5 groups and 5 pages, you can share this news that the United Nations has recognized the persecution of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. So we're going to take the next few minutes to finish this on Facebook. I request everyone to go to Facebook, official Facebook handle, and go to the main post, like, comment, and share under the post. Like, comment, and share. I'm going to read out some of the latest posts that are comments that are coming in through. So like, comment, and share under this post. So when you click share, say share to newsfeed. And when you share to newsfeed, it will give you the option of including the original post. So you can include that original post also and go ahead and share. And you can write your own a line or two, a comment about this, and then go ahead and post it. Share it in the messenger with at least 11 of your friends. Sharing it in the messenger is very easy. You just have to click send, 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 and it sends. So you just have to click this. So, and it sends. And then share it on a page. So whatever page that you own. So let's say I have different pages that I'm part of. So I can go ahead and share in the, let's say, Nithyananda Sannyas order page. I can go ahead and share. The United Nations has recognized the persecution of SPH and Kailasa. So you can go ahead and do this and share in a group. Whatever group that you're a part of, you can share it in the group. So let's go ahead and take the next few minutes to go ahead and do the sharing on Facebook. At least share with 11 of your friends, 5 groups, 5 pages, and make one news feed. Like, comment, and share the post.
Yes, I'd like to share while everyone is sharing right now. I'd like to share one sentiment that I have felt very deeply since the time last year in June, when we saw a complete social upheaval crisis happening surrounding the extremely brutal death of one African-American man in the United States. His name was George Floyd, and we saw after the acts of police brutality against him, how so many millions of people took to the streets, how people on social media for at least 2 months afterward were continuously speaking about the persecution and the ongoing persecution happening against the African Americans, the racist inherent laws and prejudices and the activities, the culture, the racist culture of the entire United States, as well as the popular culture that was being seriously addressed. And how across the world, not just in the United States, first of all, in the United States itself, how people peacefully protested across in so many different cities. And there was, even during lockdown, even during the time when there was so much of scare due to the COVID pandemic, people still wanted to stand up and they wanted to take responsibility. They wanted to be the cause for change. And not only in the United States, but in cities across the world, in cities like Paris, in Colombia, in so many different cities across the world, we saw people taking responsibility for change. And I'd like to contrast this, on the other hand, to the extremely brutal death, the mob lynching of 2 sadhus in India, the Palghar, of 2 mahants and 2 mahants, responsible members of the Sangha, sannyasis, who were brutally handed over to the mob to be entirely murdered. And I just like to ask one thing to all the viewers: did we as Hindus do justice to value the lives of our sannyasis, of the most valued members of our Hindu community? Did we do justice when persecution was ongoing? Not even a week after the Palghar murders that happened, the sadhus that had been murdered, the media was entirely silent, the social media was entirely silent, and the only one who was talking about the murder and the Hindu Holocaust was the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the foremost advocate for the brutal persecution that happened, up until even 1 month after, continuously coming for live satsangs, delivering the most profound and satsangs, and really powerfully empowering each and every one of us Hindus to stand up and take responsibility and just see the reality as it is. Our Hindu culture is at risk, and it is really, really time now that we stand up. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has courageously brought his story to the whole world, with the UN recognizing the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his disciples, the ASMT community. And he has been, after such a long time, after 10 years of persecution, finally, after going door to door to door, literally to every lawyer, to every judiciary, to every government, to every institution asking for justice, finally, we have had our voices heard in some way and some form. It brings actually so much across the world. All the Kailasians, for all the viewers who are just now joining across the world, all the Kailasians are so immensely filled with gratitude that right now, finally, our voices are heard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as you are sharing, right, I invite all the viewers See, it is important that, as what Masada Shubhriya was sharing, it is important that we as Hindus understand and take collective responsibility for what is happening to Hinduism and raise our voices. And we can raise our voices, we can bring it to the attention just by, we're not saying let's go to the street and protest. No, we are going to bring this to the attention of the government and the influencers and the media who needs to share this with the world. And we need to share this information with the world, that whatever that has happened to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the worst persecution of the worst possible, in the worst possible way, a totally brutal, atrocious persecution that has happened and is still happening to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the United Nations has gone through all the persecution details, and they have recognized this persecution, recognized Kailasa as a nation. And what you're seeing on the screen right now is the official Twitter handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at Sri Nithyananda on Twitter. So I request everyone to now please open your Twitter app on the phone or on the laptop and go to Swamiji's, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's official Twitter handle. And you will see at Sri Nithyananda, and it takes you to SPH JGM Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam page. And what we are going to do is we are going to come to this Twitter handle and take the first tweet, which talks about UN has published a report on the persecution, and click on, you like the tweet, right? You can reply to the tweet, like the tweet, reply, which is comment under the tweet, and you retweet it, right? When you click on retweet, always choose quote tweet, where you can write your own comments on top of the tweet. So you click on quote tweet and you add your comments on top of it, right? So you can say finally, and always include the hashtag. The hashtag that we are using for this purpose is hashtag UN recognizes persecution of SPH Nithyananda and Kailasa. So use this hashtag UN recognizes persecution of SPH Nithyananda and Kailasa. Use this hashtag always. I'm just going to double check.
And also, yes. And also you can tweet at the recognized Hindu leaders and also the celebrities and tweet at them, so that also we can share this news to all of the Hindu leaders, to all of the government leaders, to all of the UN leaders, and share this news that Kailasa has been recognized and the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been recognized. Let's share this and tweet at them. So we can go to their any page.
Yes.
Yes. And we can go to any of their famous celebrities, anyone whom you think will have an interest to hear about the story of, yes, Ma, I think your screen is being projected. Yes. So use these words, use these hashtags, and make sure that you can also tweet at any of the celebrities, any of the advocates, any of the leaders who you think might have an interest in Hinduism, might have an interest in the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the persecution against him. And
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
உலகத்தில் மனிதர்கள் மேம்படுவதற்காக, மனிதர்கள் உயர்நிலை அடைவதற்காக பல்வேறு விதமான மதங்கள், சம்பிரதாயங்கள், ஆன்மீக வழிகாட்டிகள், குருமார்கள், பாரம்பரியங்கள், இனங்கள், வழிபாட்டு முறைகள் எத்தனையோ உருவாகியிருக்கு, உருவாக்கப்பட்டிருக்கு. இது எல்லாத்தோட சாரமுமே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம உணர்வுக்குள்ள நஞ்சாய் இருக்கிற நெஞ்சை பஞ்சாய் மாற்றுவது. ஒருத்தருடைய செல்வ வளத்தை மட்டும் பார்த்து அதற்கு அவர் செய்த தியாகம், உழைப்பை பார்க்காவிட்டால், அதாவது அவருடைய உழைப்பை போற்றாமையால் வருவது பொறாமை. நல்லா ஆழ்ந்து புரிஞ்சுக்குங்க. ஒரு செல்வந்தரை பார்த்தீங்க, வாழ்க்கையில் ஒருத்தர் சாதிச்சவரை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஒரு பெரிய நிலையில் இருக்கவரை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, அதுக்கு அவர் பட்டிருக்கிற கஷ்டத்தை பார்க்காம விட்டீங்கன்னா, அவர் பட்ட கஷ்டத்தை போற்றாமல் விட்டால், அவர் செல்வத்தை மட்டும் பார்க்கின்ற மனத்தால் வர்றது பொறாமை. போற்றாமையால் வருவது பொறாமை. அவர் அதுக்காக செஞ்சிருக்கிற தியாகத்தை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வர்றது இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன். ஒரு நபரை பார்க்கும் பொழுது இவ்வளோ வச்சிருக்காரே அப்படின்னு மட்டும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பொறாமை. ஓ, அதுக்கு இவ்வளோ தியாகம் பண்ணியிருக்காரா அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உற்சாகம். நஞ்சு நினைவுகள் பஞ்சு நினைவுகளாய் மாறுதல். ஒரு நபரை உங்கள் உடைமையாக்கிக் கொள்ள நினைத்தால் அது காமம். உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையின் பாகமாக்கிக் கொண்டால் அது காதல். ஒவ்வொரு உணர்விலும் அதனுடைய சூக்ஷ்மமான மலர்ந்த நிலையை அடைய வைப்பதற்குத்தான் எல்லா மதங்களுமே. மண் தாமரையாய் மலர வேண்டும். மூலப்பொருள் சேரு மண்தான், அதிலிருந்துதான் செந்தாமரை மலர்கிறது. மூலப்பொருள் காமம்தான், அதிலிருந்துதான் காதல் மலர்கிறது, அன்பு மலர்கிறது. மூலப்பொருள் பொறாமைதான், அதிலிருந்துதான் உற்சாகம் மலர்கிறது. மூலப்பொருளாக இருக்கின்ற உணர்ச்சிகளிலிருந்து முழுமையின் வெளிப்பாடாக இருக்கின்ற உணர்வுகளை மலர வைப்பதுதான் எல்லா மதங்களின் சாரமும். எல்லா மதங்களும், எல்லா ஆன்மீகமும் அதோட சாரம் என்னன்னா, ராவான ஹியூமன் எமோஷன்ஸை, ரைப்டான ஹியூமன் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸாக மலர வைக்கிறது. ராவான ஹியூமன் எமோஷன்ஸை, ஃபியர், லஸ்ட், இது மாதிரியான காமம், பயம், பொறாமை, இது மாதிரியான ராவான ஹியூமன் எமோஷன்ஸை ரைப்பான பழுத்த உணர்வுகளான இனிமையான அன்பு, இனிமையான உற்சாகம், மலர்ந்த தியாகம், இது மாதிரி உயர்ந்த உணர்வுகளாக மலர வைப்பதுதான் எல்லா மதத்தின் சாரமும், எல்லா ஆன்மீகத்தின் சாரமும். இதை மலர வைக்கிற, இந்த ஆல்கமியை நடத்துகிற, இந்த ஞான ரசவாதத்தை நடத்துகிற ஏஜென்ட், கெமிஸ்ட்ரியில் சொல்லுவோம் அந்த ஆல்கமி ஏஜென்ட்னு, அந்த ஏஜென்ட் தான் பக்தி. நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. காமத்தை மிக உயர்ந்த அன்பாக மாற்றுகிற, காமங்கிற நிலையிலிருந்து மிக உயர்ந்த அன்பாக மலர வைக்கிற அந்த ஞான ரசவாத நிகழ்ச்சியினுடைய வேதிப்பொருள் பக்தி. போற்றாமையால் வரும் பொறாமையை உற்சாகம் என்கின்ற உயர் உணர்வாக மாற்றுகின்ற ஞான வேதிப்பொருள் பக்தி. ரா எமோஷன்ஸை, ராவான உணர்ச்சிகளை மலர்ந்த உணர்வாக மாற்றுகிற இந்த காரணி பக்தி. அதனால தான் எல்லா சம்பிரதாயங்களுமே பக்தியை தங்களுடைய சம்பிரதாயத்தின் முக்கியமான பாகமாக யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. பக்தி ஆன்மீக வாழ்க்கையில் ஒரு அடிப்படையான ஞான வேதிப்பொருள், ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் ஆல்கமி ஏஜென்ட். ஒரு மனிதனுக்குள்ள சேற்றிலே ஒரு செந்தாமரை கிழங்கின் வேரை போட்டிங்கன்னா சில மாதங்களில் தாமரை பூத்து குலுங்குற மாதிரி உங்களுக்குள்ள என்ன சேர் இருந்தாலும் சரி, பக்திங்கிற செந்தாமரை வேற போட்டிங்கன்னா வாழ்க்கையே ஞானத்தால் பூத்து குலுங்கும். இந்த பக்தியை மலர வைக்கிறதுக்கு பல்வேறு சம்பிரதாயங்களும் பல்வேறு முறைகளை கடைபிடிக்கின்றன. ஒரு முறை நல்ல கருத்துக்களை சொல்லுகிற, ஞான கருத்துக்களை சொல்லுகிற புத்தகங்களை படித்து அந்த ஞான கருத்துக்களை கடைபிடிக்க முயற்சி செய்து அதனால் உருவாக்கப்படும் பக்தி. அதுதான் இன்னைக்கு காலையில் சொன்னேன். சித்திரமும் கைப்பழக்கம், செந்தமிழும் நாப்பழக்கம், பக்தி அது மனப்பழக்கம். சிந்தனையாலும் செயலாலும் பக்தியை உருவாக்குறது. அது ஒரு பரம்பரை, அது ஒரு சம்பிரதாயம். பல சம்பிரதாயங்களில் இந்த முறையை உபயோகப்படுத்துவாங்க. ஆழ்ந்து கேளுங்க. இன்னும் சில பாரம்பரியங்களில் அந்த உயர்ந்த உணர்வு நிலை மலர்றதுக்கான யோகங்கள், தியானங்கள் இதையெல்லாம் செஞ்சு குண்டலினி சக்தியை விழிப்பிக்க வச்சு அதனால் பக்தியை பொங்க வைப்பாங்க. அது ஒரு சம்பிரதாயம். இன்னும் சில சம்பிரதாயங்கள்ல தொடர்ந்து பக்தியில் பழுத்த அடியார்களுக்கு சேவை செய்து அவர்களுடைய கதைகளை எல்லாம் படித்து சிந்திப்பது
नित्यानन्द परमशिवोहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोहम् परमशिवोहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द 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 परमशिवोहम् नित्यानन्द परमशिवोहम् ॐ 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே ஒரு வீடு ஒரு கூடு அட எதுவும் கிடையாது சாக்காடு பிடிமூப்பு அதையெல்லாம் கடந்தாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கூத்தாடும் சடையாண்டி அதை குறிய கொண்டாரே காத்தோடு கதை பேசி சிவஞானம் கண்டாரே பத்தோட ஓரட்டு பத்தோட வழி சித்தர்கள் விளையாட்டு எத்தனை பேருக்கு தந்தாரோ கையாட்டு தங்கா போக்கு சிவம் போக்கு என சொன்னாரே வித்தங்கா போக மருந்தாக கணம் வந்தாரே காசி தென்காசி வழிதோறும் சித்தரடி அடியாத்தி முடிஞ்சாக்கா அடையாளம் கண்டு கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே ஒரு வீடு ஒரு கூடு அட எதுவும் கிடையாதே சாக்காடு பிடிமூப்பு அதையெல்லாம் கடந்தாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கூத்தாடும் சடையாண்டி அதை குறியா கொண்டாரே காத்தோடு கதை பேசி சிவஞானம் கண்டாரே பத்தோட ஓரட்டு 18 சித்தர்கள் விளையாட்டு எத்தனை பேருக்கு தந்தாரோ விளையாட்டு சித்தங்கா போக்கு சிவம்போக்கு என சொன்னாரே பித்தங்கா போக மருந்தாக தனம் வந்தாரே வடகாசி தென்காசி சித்தரடி அடியாத்தி முடிச்சாக்கா அடையாளம் கண்டுபிடி கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே ஒரு வீடு ஒரு வீடு அட எதுவும் கிடையாதே அதையெல்லாம் கடந்தாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே கூத்தாடும் சடையாண்டி அதை குறியா கொண்டாரே காத்தோடு கதை பேசி சிவஞானம் கண்டாரே பத்தோட ஓரட்டு பத்தோட 18 சித்தர்கள் விளையாட்டு எத்தனை பேருக்கு தந்தாரோ விளையாட்டு சித்தங்கா போக்கு சிவம்போக்கு என சொன்னாரே பித்தங்கா போக மருந்தாக தனம் வந்தாரே வடகாசி தென்காசி வழிதோறும் சித்தரடி அடியாத்தி முடிச்சாக்கா அடையாளம் கண்டுபிடி கண்டாரே காணாதத கண்டாரே கண்டாரே கைலாசம் கண்டாரே ஐயா சிவ 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 சிவார ஹர சிவ 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 சிவார ஹர ஹர ஐயா சிவ 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 சிவார ஹர ஹர சிவ 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 சிவார ஹர ஹர என் பேரறிய உறவறிய தவத்துறவறிய உள்ளொன்று உரம் ஒன்று பேசறிய உமை சிவன் போலே வேறறிய சிவ 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 சிவாரகர ரகர சிவ 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 சிவாரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ஹர ஹர ரகர சிவ 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 ஹர காலையும் மாலையும் கணக்கறிய ஆடும் கோடும் நான் அறிய பாலையும் சோலையும் பிரித்தறிய பரம பரஞ்சோதி அடிசி சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ஹர ரகர சிவ 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 ஹர ஐயா ஊனறிய உயிர் உடலறிய போன பெருவழியை நான் அறிய ஆனறிய பெண்ணலி அறிய ஆதி சிதம்பரம் சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர சாமி உன்னது பொருளது கண்டறிய போகமும் மோகமும் கொண்டறிய ஆசை பேராசை அறிந்தறிய அம்பலமாடியை மறந்தறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஐயா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஐயா சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர ஆகம வேதங்கள் படித்த ஆறு குளங்களில் குடித்தறிய யாகமும் யோகமும் செய்தறிய ஓமுகம் பார்த்து பணிந்தறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர 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 சும்மா ஒருபோது இருந்தறிய அசுத்தங்கள் பார்த்தறிய ஆத்ம நிவேதன செய்தறிய அத்தனாரி சனடி சிறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர சாமி ஏடறிய சொல் எழுத்தறிய ஏற்றம் தாழ்வு நான் அறிய வீடறிய குடும்பாடறிய சோமசுந்தரன மறந்தறிய சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர ரகர சிவ 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 ரகர உணவறிய ஊரும் உணர்வறிய உள்யது வெளியது நான் அறிய தனவறிய நனவறிய